Welcome back, folks. Katie Matthews, Bob Owens, Lone Duck. We're at K9 Street League Trial 3 scenario. Boogeyman surprise.
This is level 1, up in the ante on these dogs, and this is our first muzzled scenario.
This is the first time dogs in the K9 Street League structure are going to see a muzzle.
Super cool. This is something I'm excited about. We've got a decoy hidden underneath the tarp. We've got, who do we have first? We got Zeus and Shane.
And they've been doing very well. Very smooth. Okay, so the thing that's we notice about that team is they're very even keeled.
Yes.
Zeus isn't flying off the handle. He's not over the top, leaking. I mean, I think the most noise we saw, most emotion we saw at him was in the carjacking, and that's because Wayne Davis and those dogs pretty aroused.
Good use of that word.
I tried.
So in this scenario, the decoy is hidden underneath the tarp, passive, not agitating. The handler's going to send the dog in. The dog has to engage.
With a muzzle on.
And he's got to engage it for 15 seconds.
That's a long time for the decoy. And I say that because when you're working a dog in a muzzle, the safest muzzle to use is also very rigid, right? So as it comes down over the snout, in the front part of the muzzle, it's typically got a very hard leather enclosure. And this is where the term muzzle punching comes from.
Yep.
As these dogs learn how to use a muzzle, and they will drive it into your soft, sweet, tender spots.
And
here
we go. Zeus, the pit bull, muzzled up, ready to punch. We jumped right over top of the DK. Jumped right over the top of the DK. Trying to take the muzzle
Dog
off.
is a little distracted with that muzzle.
Being able to resend. Oh,
He found him.
Oh, we got engagement.
He found him.
There we go. And big decoy, Dennis, the tyrant. Fighting the dog. Nice. Good aggression from our decoy. That was our 15 seconds.
Now, the dogs understand what a muzzle is. They absolutely know that the muzzle is impeding their ability to do what it is they want to do.
Now,
the muzzle's off. So that's...
Dog's back on the bite. A lot of aggression from our decoy. Again, level 1 stuff.
This is where Dennis Stroud is really in his glory.
Yeah.
And we were talking last night after the day. He likes bringing the pressure, so he loves being in the level 1 because he gets to let loose more.
Yep.
And I gotta say,
Yelling, more clatter stick.
watching Zeus is interesting because he struggled there.
Yeah.
That dog struggled on that engagement.
Because of the pressure from the decoy.
Because of the pressure from the decoy. But he got a bite though at the end. He didn't quit. I mean, there was a lot of hesitation.
He engaged, bopped off, re-engaged, I think bopped off again, popped off again, and then...
He did finish on a bite though.
Yep, and then you could see him be like, what? Now I'm going back in. So
the fact that he went back in, that impresses me. Because some people say, oh, look, the dog hesitated. Yes, he did. But he still stayed.
He overcame it.
Yep.
He overcame a little bit of that uncomfortability and continued to do his job.
Yes.
So what I'd like to hear from our judge, if we can maybe call him over, is how we're handling the, I mean, he didn't see a decoy. Dennis is underneath the tarp, passive. It just looks like a tarp on the ground.
I would not expect a dog, this is me personally, I would not expect a dog to be pulled out onto a field and know there's a decoy under there.
No.
I don't know.
Unless you've overly trained this idea. I mean, Oscar's coming over.
Now, if you give him time to catch odor, that's something else.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, he missed the first muzzle attempt. He used 3 extra commands over there. He came back. He did engage the second time he sent them. Unfortunately, he didn't stay in the fight after the attack out of the blind. So unfortunately today he got DQ'd.
Okay.
Got
All
it.
right, thank you. All right, everybody. Unfortunate news for Shane and Zeus.
Point deductions first.
Yep. Due to the severity and amount of point deductions for not engaging right away on the passive boogeyman and running over top, extra commands, all that stuff, we're racking up point deductions. And then on the engagement of the aggressive decoy, where he popped off and back on, he didn't.
What we were just talking about.
Yep, he didn't engage enough. And for a level 1, we need more.
Yep.
And so I think Shane, again, a lesson or a ribbon, and Shane's going to go home with a lesson of things to work on. But
And knowing that guy, he's going to walk away with the right frame of mind on that. Like, all right, this is what we have to work on. Now I know, now I have things to do with my dog and work on improving.
yep, I thought it was great performance. It's just not enough for a level 1. And so, unfortunately, Zeus DQ'd. Sad for him, but he's going to come back better next time.
Yep.
Guaranteed. Guaranteed.
But yeah, I think that's very hard, very difficult to bring the
This is
dog
banana.
immediately onto the field, and you pretty much have to train this scenario as a routine.
Like they gotta see the picture that underneath any tarp could be a bad guy, and if I cue you up on a blanket tarp, all right, hey, here we go. Comment, write it right now. Mongo's up. Is Mongo going to go in and engage immediately?
I would not want to work Mongol in a muzzle. Now, I will say this. Oftentimes, muzzle attacks are done without equipment. So this
Getting in there.
this scenario, our decoy does have a suit on, which is going to make dealing with a dog like Mongol in a muzzle a lot less painful.
All right, we've got engagement. Mongo's in the fight now. Dennis is pushing him off. Mongo's now upping the ante. Called off.
You can get a tooth knocked out, you can get your nose broken very easily with those muzzles. So now the muzzle's
But you
going to
can
come.
see Mongo is not the same Mongo we've seen.
Well, because there's a lot going on in his mind to deal with these upped scenarios.
And now we're going to see the Mongo we know.
Yeah, because the muzzle's off.
Muzzle's off.
So
Dennis.
after muzzle,
Bang. Look at Mongo go. That's a big dog that's still extremely athletic.
and very frustrated from muzzle work. Muzzle work typically builds frustration in a dog. So to immediately pull the muzzle off and then give him a bite, you're going to get everything that dog has because now he gets to bite you.
Absolutely.
Mongo! The first!
First
Tough
call.
time outing earlier.
We've got one.
The first!
Second command going to be a little bit of point deduction, but not bad.
Notice how Psych waited. He was really trying to see what is the dog going to do before he gave that command to ensure maybe he didn't. You don't want to give the command if you don't need to.
Yeah.
And he let Mongol digest what he was asking him for a little bit. He did at that last minute give a second command. Again, that will be a
Which
deduction.
I'll take a point deduction versus being out.
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely.
Smart handling.
This boogeyman scenario is, I think, blowing their mind a little bit. He smelled him in there. He was moving him around. I think he also was a little more concerned about the muzzle. I mean, he was kind of playing with the muzzle and, you know, like you see a dog on a couch, like rubbing his ears on the couch. That's almost what it looked like.
Yes.
He wasn't engaging it in a fight. But
This is weird. The whole tarp thing and the dog immediately coming out and then immediately being sent on a tarp. That's. I'm still digesting that.
I would, yeah, if we were to train for this scenario, if you're asking me how I would train for this, I would build it in a layer. I would layer the situation. So the first thing would be a tarp on the ground, a decoy next to it. Maybe they're playing with the tarp a little bit. Takes a bite. No muzzle. Takes a bite. Then I'm going to have the tarp draped over top of the decoy. Takes the bite.
Oh, you would absolutely
You're
build
absolutely
this
building a chain
without the muzzle first.
Without the muzzle, and you're just slowly but surely building up to where the picture of a tarp on the ground means the same as if a guy is staying there in a suit.
Yes.
That tarp should be a suit in their eyes.
And this isn't a surprise scenario. This is
Been talked about for a
it's
while.
in the handbook. You know, when you get to this level in K9 Street League, you know this is the boogeyman surprise. You know what the scenario is. You want to be successful with this scenario. I mean, you're going to methodically teach your dog to know exactly what to do.
Right. Teach him a picture, reinforce that picture, confidence increases, muzzle punching goes through the roof.
I mean, you want to be able to him out to the line, and the dog is, before you even do anything, completely focused on the tarp. Like, I know there's a guy in there
Exactly.
because I've seen it.
As you all have seen, the intensity that they bring when the decoy is present, the added intensity when the decoy is agitated, that's how they should be when they see the tarp on the ground.
Yep.
It's a picture. Absolutely. So I think all of our competitors here at level 1 are noticing that this is something they've got to work on when they come back and work for.
And various elements of it, various components. Some of it is recognizing, some dogs had a little issue recognizing what to do. Then it was, well, how do I deal with what I have to do? And then you do get the bite
Right.
on Dennis Straub today, which is not an easy task. The guy is a titan.
Yeah, titan is a good word.
You like
man.
that?
He's a beast.
I mean, he's from Texas.
Everything
Titan.
is bigger in
Yeah.
Texas. And Dennis is no different. Beast of burden, man.
And it's a hot day for him. This is
Physically demanding on our decoys.
because he's the single decoy running the entire scenario. Luckily, we don't have a ton of
There's only
dogs.
a few We've got Lauren and Bean coming up next. He's about to hide underneath the tarp. It's a black tarp also. So you gotta know that he's sweating.
And he's
his
wearing a black
boots
suit.
Off.
Yeah, he's absorbing every bit of
Always.
sunshine out there.
Yep. He's kind of breathing heavy. He's leaned over right now.
I mean, Dennis is like 6'2", 6'3", at least?
I don't think he's that tall, but he's thicker than a Snicker.
That's been the phrase of the weekend.
It is. He's a big dude. And he likes this. He was hoping for this.
Yeah.
He wants to push these dogs in the level 1s to a place that they don't get pushed pressure-wise from our decoys. So he's been looking forward to the level 1s and bringing some of his skill set to the game.
Yeah, entry level is challenging for him personally because
Yeah.
he likes to be able to push more. And you know, we were talking about this with him last night. Entry level, it's no, we're just right to here. This is entry level, and that's the responsibility all of our decoys have. Is to
But
be,
you're right. The point he brought up is, and I understand where he's coming from, this is a trial. We should be elevating the dog's skill set and having a clear distinction between a dog who's going in with no regards for themselves and a dog who's like, I don't know, that decoy seems intimidating. So I understand where he's coming from, but this is where he can showcase that material.
yep, level 1.
Level 1, and he's the perfect boogeyman. I think my suggestion to the K9 Street League would be Boogeyman needs to have a Halloween mask on. How sick would that be? Come on.
Like one of those realistic,
a real Boogeyman.
Yes,
Yeah.
that would be.
Hilarious.
And all I could think about was how nasty hot that would be right now.
Like a Jason mask or the Scream mask.
Scream mask is disturbing.
Yep.
Bob Owens mask.
Got Lauren and Bean in the build.
Here we go, Bean. Let's go, Lauren. Let's see what you and Beaner got. What do you think the dog's demeanor does when you put a muzzle on?
It all depends on
He's
how
already
you.
trying to get it off.
It all depends on how you introduce the muzzle. It truly does.
But do you think it takes a little bit of confidence away?
It can, which is why muzzle work is a nuanced craft. It's a nuanced part of dog training that many people think they know how to do. And well, you know, they probably could learn a lot. And then there's others who really get it and really understand how to work that nuance.
All right, I don't know what just happened. She's walking off field. Shoot.
Give it up for Lauren and Bean, guys.
All right, Oscar Mora. Here's the deal. Lauren gave a verbal correction, just like we saw with Ken and Rico. She gave a verbal correction to Bean. automatic DQ.
And we've been hearing this rule over and over again. So it's not for lack of understanding.
Yep.
You
It's a
can
handler error.
verbal
And that sucks. But and honestly, the crowd's pretty disappointed, and so Oscar had to describe and explain it again for everyone, where this is a competition, and you, as a handler, have to have your P's and Q's and dot your I's and cross your T's, and make sure you don't make mistakes.
This, and listen, I'm going to add this too. This is nothing new
Right.
in dog sports.
Yes.
I mean, and if anything,
Same in mine.
K9 Street League right now, trial 3, we're still building. Our judges are really trying to help folks. This is more lenient right now. You go anywhere else and give your dog a correction, it's not a surprise when this happens.
No,
so
we can't do it in my sport.
there really shouldn't be much surprise
But
for
it's,
that.
It's tough. You know, it's
It
tough
is
for
disappointing.
the spectators. I mean, the dog didn't even get a shot at the title. But in the grand scheme of things, this is a part of the sport. And if you don't follow the rules, then what's the point of having the rules?
And this is a chance for people to grow. Now you learn you learn about these mistakes and you grow from it.
Nobody's gonna, I bet you trial 4, no one's going to say no. Because everyone's going to not want to be the one to take their dog out of the fight.
For that.
So, I'm
Yep.
sorry, super sorry for Lauren. I'm super sorry for Ken. I mean, he was in first,
Yeah.
going for first place. And the same rule applied.
Yep.
So how can we not, how could we allow that to slide, but then wipe Ken out?
Lessons are ribbons, Bob.
Lessons are ribbons. Everybody stay tuned for the face attack.
The tarped face attack,
Tarp
our
face
final
attack.
scenario.
Final scenario, level 1. See you in a minute.